With the repetitive motion of cycling, it's really easy to run into knee problems. Most of them are actually totally avoidable. Today we're going to go over some of the problems and solutions. Let's get into it. Welcome to MyVeloFit, the world's first online AI-powered bike fit. Built by bike fitters for all riders. Most of us are pedaling at around 80 to 90 RPM. That means over the course of an hour, we're doing more than 5,000 pedal strokes. If your fit is off, your knee's going to be at a very high risk of injury. Before we dive into potential issues and solutions, let's have a quick review of the anatomy of the knee without getting too technical. Let's first identify the areas of the knee. Oftentimes these will help us identify what's going on by where the pain is. We have the front of the knee, which is we'll also call the anterior, the back of the knee, which is posterior, the inner side of the knee, which is medial, and then the outside of the knee, which is lateral. We can also talk about proximal and distal, with proximal being at the top half of the knee and distal being at the bottom half. Where the pain develops is often a very good indicator of what is causing the pain. Before we get into individual areas of the knee and the pain and issues there, I do want to stress it's super important to make sure your cleats are set up properly first. A lot of knee problems stem from improper cleat setup. We have a blog post that we'll link to in the description that's very helpful in getting you to a good neutral position with your cleats. 9 times out of 10, that's enough to get you dialed, and then we'll touch on each individual issue as we go through. Okay, let's dive in. We're gonna start with the front of the knees. Front of the knee pain is really common, assuming the cleats are set up properly, which we hope you've done already. Front of the knee pain is generally indicator of saddle height or saddle foreaft. So usually a saddle that's too low or too far forward can be an issue, or a saddle that's just way too far back. That will be common for a front of knee pain. So we want to make sure that the knee angle is correct. So we'll assess the saddle height and the foreaft is within range as well. Okay, so next we're going to look at inside and outside knee pain. We're going to group these two together because it's often the one is the inverse of the other. The causes are quite similar, it's just what the symptoms are is how we diagnose them. First one we're going to look at is cleat rotation, how we have the shoes angled. So often if the cleat has you turned too far in, we're going to get pain in the outside of the knee, or if the cleat has you turned too far heel out, we're going to get pain in the front and or inside of the knee. So let's make sure that you get your cleats dialed in for that first. So we go from a neutral position, and then if we need to go one way or the other, we can make small adjustments there. These issues are often exaggerated by saddle height. So if you have your saddle definitely excessively too high, we'll see these pains earlier. And they can also happen if they're too low, but it's pretty rare that is just that. So just a saddle too high or just a saddle too low shouldn't cause that much of outside or inside knee pain. It's usually in conjunction with some sort of cleat alignment as well. Inadequate arch support can often cause these issues as well. It's more likely that it's not enough arch support that's letting your foot collapse in and then resulting in inside knee pain. There's some cases though where we have too much that's forcing the heel out and then causing external knee pain. It can often also be done by shoes with built-in wedging as well. So varus or valgus wedging can cause that as well, but that's less common. On the point of wedging, sometimes we do need to adjust for the natural angle of the foot. So if your foot naturally wants to sit angled away from the center of the line of the body, so varus, or towards the center of the line of the body, valgus, we can add wedging to accommodate for that. It's pretty rare, especially to need to wedge towards the center line of the body, but they can sometimes help. The other one is the vertical alignment of the hip, knee, and foot. We want them roughly in the same plane. So if it's way outside of your hips or way inside of your hips, which is a bit more common, especially for bigger people, we can see that lateral or medial knee pain as well. Okay, now let's talk about the back of the knee. This is a pretty common issue as well. It's typically caused by a saddle that's too high. That's the most common cause. Excess saddle height means that we're overextending the leg, and then we're engaging those muscles through the back of the knee, or where they attach to the back of the knees. So that can be a big issue. The other one though that is often overlooked is either saddle foreaft or cleat foreaft. You're having your cleats too far towards your toes can really make the muscles in the back of the calf and where they attach to the knee, and sometimes also the Achilles, really kind of fire, and they can cause issues. Or having your saddle way too far back can also cause that. So making sure that you dial in your saddle height, cleat foreaft and saddle foreaft will really help with the back of the knee pain. A final note I wanted to mention on this is the importance of strength and mobility. A lot of times just being too tight, not having the muscular control can cause these issues as well. So it's important to have a good strength and mobility series that you follow. Lots of foam rolling, stretching, mobility work will do wonders with not just knee pain, but kind of your overall comfort on the bike as well. So that wraps up our initial conversation on knee pain. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I'm sure there's lots of you out there who are having knee pain, so perhaps we can help. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms at MyVeloFit, and thank you for watching.